the best percussionist, one of the best rhythm arranger, and students to many like me, Ustad Tawfiq Qureshi.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure for me also to be here at the A Field Chat Show. Thank you, Abhishek Tendulkar.
तौफिक भाई,
जी
अभी ये इतने साल की जर्नी जो अभी शुरू है, उसमें थोड़ा सा आपको छेड़ेंगे, थोड़ा पीछे लेके जाएंगे, थोड़ा आगे लेके आएंगे.
ओके
बट एक पहला सवाल आता है मन में. आप यू आर बोर्न एंड ब्रॉट अप इन अ क्लासिकल फैमिली, उस्ताद अल्लाह रखा. उधर से आपने जो जर्नी शुरू की, फिर आप इंडस्ट्री लाइक फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में कैसे आए, और जब भी आप वापस क्लासिकल में आए तो आप एक नया साज लेके आए जो है जेम्बे. तो ये थोड़ा जर्नी के बारे में आप हमको बताएंगे तो.
Basically, see Abhishek, I am born into the family of the tabla, which is, I think, one of the most greatest and the most versatile percussion instrument ever made. And being born into the family where there was Ustad Allah Rakha and Ustad Zakir Hussain is something which I think I would thank God for that He brought me into that family. Because those two pillars are the pillars on which I'm still standing. So that's a very important thing. Of course, other pillars kept coming and supporting me, but these two pillars are the two strong pillars. Now, I started my journey from a very early age, from an early age of like when you're just scrolling and you hear the sound and you get attracted to it, and you go there and you see that instrument and you want to play it and you bang on it like all children do, and I've done that. So my rhythmic journey has started when I guess I started crawling, and then it grew, and I learned from a budgie, and I saw Zakir Bhai and got inspired by him, learned from him also, and that was it. I wanted to do that only. I wanted to do music because there was nothing else that kind of impressed me, or I wasn't interested in anything else that includes my studies, and even for that matter sports. I was more interested in doing music. Although yes, as a young boy, I was in the inter-school football team. I used to play football in my building, not so much cricket. I used to skate, I used to do all that. But I used to wait for the time that I would finish that, because that was something which was, I guess it was there, the kids are there, you're playing, you have peers, and you want to be part of that, no? But I would wait to come home and then just take the instrument and start playing on it. So that journey went on for a while. I became a professional musician. I started accompanying many artists, small, my contemporaries and all. And then there came a time when I felt that all this knowledge of a budgie, which I had, from a very early age, I was always looking for something else to define this knowledge. I was looking at something else where I could take all this knowledge, and because I was thinking that yes, this is it, but if I want to be noticed, if I want to be recognized, or at least be observed by others and spoken about, I knew that I need to have another medium through which I should, so that the tabla knowledge, which was right here, so much of that, was always looking for a way to come out on some other elements. As a kid, it was dalda ka dabbas, where I would experiment, or the bongo, which I would put in between my legs, and I would play to the film songs. But for me, it was whatever was happening here, तबला वही चलता था. वो उस चीज़ को मैं कैसे इस गाने के साथ बजा सकता हूँ with this song. That was the whole experiment which I was doing even as a kid. As a kid, I remember because I asked my father once what is drums like, and he said, beta, they are like those dabbas. They look like dabbas and plastic on top. So dabba means dalda, and they are played with sticks. Now we didn't have sticks, so what I would do is I would, the jharu with which you clean the bathroom, the thick one, I would break those sticks, 4-5 sticks, and in my own way I would tie a dhaga, which is now called hot rods. So as a kid, I made my first hot rods, when the hot rods were maybe not, now I'm talking about what, 66, 67. I don't know if hot rods were there in those days. But so I made my own hot rods in those days. And that's why I'll come to that point later, just remind me. So I was always experimenting. So I felt I need another medium. So as I grew up, I came into college, I started playing. I was accompanying big musicians also, like Ustad Sultan Khan Saab, Pandit Brij Bhushan Kabra ji, sometimes here and there 1-2 concerts with Hari Prasad ji also, and my contemporaries also. But then I felt something was not right. I mean, I needed to expand. I was going on this path, but I felt that some other path is there for me, maybe not this. And I told Abbaji, I said, I want to stop classical music. I want to get into recordings and all that. I was already doing some small recordings with my partner Piyush Kanodia. So I said, maybe this is the path. As a kid, when you're, when you're in your 20, 21 years of age, you feel like this is not for me. I think this is for me. And when you go there, maybe you realize, no, this is for me. So my journey of doing this and that started actually. So I started, and my father said, yeah, Abbaji said, yeah, fine, you want to do music only, na? Because I know you can't do anything else. Because, you're not good in studies, which we can see from your report cards. So I guess if you're doing music, it's fine. I mean, it's long. So my journey started. I started doing small recordings, and I went and started playing orchestra shows with Seven Colors and Pramila Datar and whatever at those times. The Darbar band from Pune, the very famous Iqbal Bhai's band. So I was playing, orchestra shows, and then somebody came and said, hey, will you play the Dandiya show? I said, yes. Paisa milega na? Will you pay me? Because at a very early age, when I came into college, at a very early age, I stopped taking money. After my 12th standard, I stopped taking money from home for college fees, pocket money. I said, I must start earning my own money. Yaar. Ghar se nahi lena hai. I want to. So I was not taking money from home. From whatever I would make from these recordings or orchestra show, I would pay the fees. And even, in fact, I would even come and give a little bit money to Ammaji also, okay, So she was happy about it. Very little, hardly anything, because Abbaji was working, Zakir Bhai was working. So, but coming from me, it was a good thing. It was a big thing for her, okay, he's giving something at home. So that was happening. So I said, I will get paid now. Oh, you will get paid very good. For Dandiya, you get very good money. Oh, okay. So I started doing Dandiya shows. Started playing with bamboo beats and Falguni Pathak and so many other bands. I started doing that. In the meantime, I always wanted to play film recordings, but I wasn't getting any calls for film recordings. So about 86 or so, I remember one of the messenger called me and he said, will you come for Anand Brilliant's recording? I said, yes, of course, I want to do that. So I went there, and my first recording, and it was so nice both. I mean, I hardly got to meet Anand Brilliant, but basically fantastic people, fantastic music directors, always encouraging, and the whole mahal of sitting with so many musicians and studying in a way under Dubeji, who was the rhythm arranger there. I had heard a lot about him, but that was the first time I got to meet him and work under him. A learning experience. So I started doing that. So like I said, this, that, orchestra, dandiya, film recordings, jhankar beats.
Okay.
So while doing these recordings, there was a time when that was the time when the same songs would release on a cassette as a jhankar beat, with kick and snare being the prominent thing. So I remember, forget his name, I think his name was Hashmi, and he had his own label. So he would employ some of us to come and work in the night. So after the film recording was over, some of us Octopad players would go there and sit in the night. Say, let's say our recording would get over by 9:30. So we would go to the other studio, some other small studio, because this was happening in Mehboob or Famous or Sunny, which were big studios. So this used to be a smaller studio. We would then sit and work 3-4 hours on putting kick and snare on all the songs. So there the money was also good. So I was like, wherever I get money from, because my whole thing was I want to earn money. But in that, no, I started gaining so much of experience of working in recordings. In recordings, big people I know who have come with the idea that, oh, this is nothing for us here. I will do it like this. And after coming there, they have realized it's not such an easy cup of tea. It's not, because those days you had to play one pattern only with the same weight from the beginning to the end of the song and on a click track. But by then click track had come. So on a click track, and that was not an easy thing. And I realized that. I said, this is not so easy as we would think. Arey, ye to simple hai. No. When you get inside it, then you realize. Playing dandiya, dandiya to main baja lunga. But you're sitting there, you're playing. In those days, dandiyas used to start at 8:39 and would finish by 2:30. And there used to be 3 rounds. So at 9 it would start, 11. You would play continuously. Can you imagine the kind of stamina you need? You would get blisters. If you're playing drums and Octopad, and even drums, I used to play drums also. Any stick work, you would get blisters. It's not such an easy thing. So 9 to 11, then break for 20 minutes. Then about 11:30 to 1, another round. And then 1 to 2 was considered as Dhamal round. So 1:15 to 2:30, वो fast ही रहता था. So I'm saying that when you get into it, you realize it's not easy. And for 10 days, So, but that built up the stamina of stick work. Playing so much, although you're playing just one groove, 2-3 grooves, pickups and all that, but it makes your stamina of stick work, which came useful for me later when I started actually playing the standing kit and playing with artists, So I went this, that, but tabla, वो ऑलवेज था कि कहाँ निकालूँ इसको, इतना सब कुछ है ना अंदर, ये सब तो बजा रहा हूँ मैं. एंड आई यूज्ड टू फील ऑल्सो लाइक, व्हाट एम आई डूइंग यार, व्हाट एम आई डूइंग, आई हैव ऑल दिस, व्हाट एम आई डूइंग. एंड बाय देन आई हैड गॉट मैरिड ऑल्सो, 93, एंड वी वर working, and I said, okay, we've got married now, so I need to really work. So I would, those were the days at Dandiya time. I would do the recording till whatever, 9:30, 8:30, whatever. Then go play Dandiya from 9 o'clock to 2:30. And we were married, we were staying in Kandivali. Then I would get home, sleep for 3 hours, get up, and again by 9:30 reach the studio, because there was a time, if you reach by 9:30 maximum, नहीं तो पैसा कटता था. So you had to reach by 9. हाँ, मतलब वो होता था कि पैसा कटेगा, अरे पैसा नहीं कटना चाहिए यार, I don't want my money to cut, because we weren't paid that much money. I had an A grade by then, but still it was, I think, about 670 rupees for one shift. And then above that was overtime and all that. So basically reach there, again then go play the dandiya, then next day go to some other studio for some other recording. So this I have done because, just gotten married, we have a house, उसका डाउन पेमेंट तो दिया है, बट बाकी का लोन जो लिया है, एंड इन दोज डेज लोन वाज आल्सो लाइक यू नो दीज डेज आई गेट कॉल्स नो ऑलमोस्ट एवरी अदर डे, सर लोन चाहिए। ऐसे यार आप लोग ना 25 साल पहले किधर थे मुझे बताइए, अभी तो ऐसा लोन ले लो, कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए, आप लोन ले लो मेरे से। उस वक्त तो यू हैव टू गिव दैट डॉक्यूमेंट, दिस डॉक्यूमेंट, दैट, यू हैव टू गेट मैरिड, if you are applied for joint loan, you have to get married, and all these rules were there, you know. So now, so then by the time it was 96, Shikhar was born, and then more responsibilities, so more work, जितना काम मिले ले लो यार, पैसा मिलते रहना चाहिए पैसा। So in that I was always looking for something. तबला कहाँ निकालना है, तबला कहाँ निकालना है। I used to try it on drums and I used to feel नहीं, too many instruments, धा किधर निकलने का, धीन किधर निकलने का, वो मुश्किल है। Then congas, no bass, only mids and highs, bongo too small. Then चलते चलते करते करते दरबुका दिखा, दरबुका तो है अच्छा, but only bass and highs, no mids. तो वो करते करते then about, I guess it was 96 or 7, I think Shikhar was already born. And Zakir Bhai gave me one djembe, 10-inch djembe. And when I started playing it, I realized something is here. I think this instrument, I can definitely do something. तबले का बहुत कुछ इसमें आ सकता है। वो छोटा छोटा सा सोच करते हुए, but it wasn't very clear because I was still working in the studios. No? My job would be, I would be there in the studio by 9:30 till, if I'm not doing dandiya or something, till whatever. And in those days I had already started, so कभी 10 बज गया, 11 बज गया, कभी 12 बज जाता था। एक background scores used to happen in those days, 1 month, 1.5 months, we would be in one studio doing background score. So coming home would be late, tired, not much time to do riyaz. So this went on for a while, and then here and there I would do some small show or something like that. But I wasn't happy with myself playing because I don't think I was doing anything great. You know, not what I would want to do.
What you wanted to, you were not able to achieve.
And then one show I did with Zakir Bhai, I was very bad. I didn't play well at all. And then Geetika, she really fired me. She said, "What are you doing here? Either leave this live show, don't do any shows only, or just leave this job and get into live shows." That was about 98, sorry. And I said, "Look, yaar, if I stop all this work, no money." She said, No. You do something. We'll manage. You get into riyaz." So सब छोड़ के, then I started doing my riyaz. Started playing the djembe, फिर riyaz, and I started defining certain things. थोड़ा छोटा. I started playing contraption because I had seen Trilok Bhai playing with that kick and snare. So I said, even I want to do something like that. So with Gladnik, I made that kick and snare. I started practicing small things here and there started. And you know, God helps those who help themselves. And in fact, I used to get messages from the messengers. वो तो मोबाइल फ़ोन शायद जस्ट आया था, तो मैसेंजर का फ़ोन आता था, अरे तुम क्यों नहीं आ रहे हो रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए? बोला नहीं, अजीत भाई, रामानंद जी, शेषप्पा, जागीरदार एंड जगतार used to be messenger for Rajesh Roshan. Ajit used to be messenger for Anand Milen. Ramanand ji used to be messenger for Anu Malik and Jatin Lalit. And Jagirdar ji used to be messengers for others like Dhiru Bhai and all these guys. So मेरे को बोलते, तू क्यों नहीं, why you stop recording? Vanraj used to call me. I used to work so much with Vanraj. हाँ नहीं Vanraj, I'm working on something of my own. So I practiced, and then suddenly this guy came and said, "Hey, we are launching a label. Will you do an album?" I said, of course. And that was Rajiv Sharma. And the birth of Ridhun. Ridhun, I started working 99, complete whole year. He didn't bother me. One whole year I took 1 piece, 2 piece. ऐसा करते वो album complete हुआ. Mastering के लिए I paid from my own pocket. We went to Albany to do mastering. We did mastering over there, and then Ridhun released, and then suddenly I got a push because Ridhun was a benchmark album at that time in 2000.
World music it is the benchmark.
Well, with Abbaji's Ashirwad and all the people who worked in it with me, Shankar, Gitika, Abbaji, Zakir Bhai, L. Shankar, Nitin Bhai was there, Sridhar Bhai was there, Juku was there. So many people's blessings are there in that album. Keshav Badge ji. So, उन सबका आशीर्वाद काम के साथ में ये एल्बम एक मेरे लिए एक लॉन्चिंग, इट वाज अ लॉन्चिंग पैड फॉर मी. Tawfiq Qureshi suddenly came into the picture that there is a guy called Tawfiq Qureshi. He does something. And I started getting shows and I started playing drum kit. I formed my own band. And then I started exploring the djembe in a very serious way. Tukde, Chakradar, Kaide, Rele, ये सब I started exploring it, defining on it, you know, उसके ऊपर मैं उसका पूरा क्या बोलते हैं ना तोड़ निकालने लगा. I started all that. And that's how I started with classical music, went this, that, everywhere. And then came back, went into fusion, and then came back into the djembe, the classical music. सारा अब्बा जी का जो मेरे यहाँ पे था, and also the various other, you know, what you call it as gharanas. उन सब का all that knowledge which was inside me, I started transposing onto this, and this is, it became me. I became very friendly with the djembe, and the djembe became friendly with me, and that's where the journey brought me back to classical music. And then I'm now into classical music. So that's my journey. I mean, but everywhere I went, I learned something. Everywhere I went, I learned something. In recordings, I learned how to play so many instruments with the same weight, how to play dove, matka, shaker, tambourine, and bongo pattern, congo pattern, tumba pattern, kaise hona chahiye, rhythm arrangement, how to work on it. And I was very thankful to, you know, I was working with Piyush, but I'm in that sense, my first big rhythm arrangement started with SEL.
Right, coming to that topic.
And I'm very thankful to them that, you know, they gave me this opportunity to discover the rhythm arranger in me. You know, I'm always very, very thankful.
अभी ये जो पूरा एक क्वेश्चन का सम अप करें,
हाँ.
तो आपने जिधर भी एक्सप्लोर किया, you learned from it, and you didn't stop.
No.
Basically. और आपने एक टाइम पे दो तीन चीजें भी करी.
किए, बिल्कुल.
So because of that, you could find djembe.
Yes, I mean, djembe came to me through, of course, Zakir Bhai. But I started, yes, because I was always looking for something, and I had it in me that I want a surface, other surface.
So basically, आपका बस था, और वो सीख रहे थे. वो जो जरिया था, like recording, shows, फलाना, उसमें आप सब एक्सप्लोर कर रहे थे, पर आपको मिल नहीं रहा था.
नहीं.
And then djembe came to your hand, like Zakir Bhai gifted you that, and then you found कि yes, this is the thing.
This is it.
But because you could explore everything else,
Yes.
and you are not happy with that,
Yeah. So I was always evolving.
right?
I was always looking for something new. I'm telling you, Abhishek, I'm not one of those musicians who's never satisfied. I know there are many musicians who will do a concert and then they'll feel not satisfied with it. But that's fine, because they have those standards which are like up there. Even I have my standards up there. And when I do a performance, I know that okay, some things I've done good, some things I've not done good. I can always better myself. So it's not that I'm not satisfied as a musician, but as a musician, I always want to evolve. I want to try out new things. That's why I went into djembe. That's why I went into voice percussion. That's why I started Mumbai Stamp as a band.
Yes.
That's why my style of drum accompaniment to various artists is different, because I want to evolve. I want to do something which others are not doing. Is what my thought process has always been. Whether it's playing the djembe, whether it's doing cheek percussions, whether it's doing breath percussion or other vocal elements, or bringing in the trash into film industry, into film songs in a big way, or into the live corporate shows and college shows and all that, I always want to evolve myself. look at new avenues where I can better myself.
Yes, yes. Tawfiq bhai, see, like AFIL being an organizing firm, like we do shows also. We have worked with you a lot of times, and what special is about you is like you are ready for collaborations.
Yes.
And whenever we tell this to any other artist or maybe as an accompanying artist, all of them are willing to do this with you because you are so open with the idea of sharing and even like sharing the thoughts. Maybe it might be overpowering your instrument, but you're okay. Like if this is the thing going principally okay, then I am okay to share the stage accordingly. So अभी एक जो अभी हम लोग 87 से 99 तक आए, उसमें एक स्टूडियो का भी दौर बड़ा हो गया, बहुत चेंजेस हो गए हैं. सो उसके बारे में थोड़ा एक हमको आप कुछ बता सकते हैं, लाइक जो पहले रील पे होता था, आपको ज्यादा टेक्स, और आज डिजिटली
एकदम
डिलीट इट एंड यू.
So basically you couldn't delete or you couldn't undo. Once you have put a track, that's it. You have to, if you don't like that, you have to redo it. So there at Mehboob Studio and even in Famous, they used to record on big spool. I mean, the spool on which they would do the film का shooting होता था ना, वो spool पे record होता था. They used to record on that big spool. So there was this big machine, and the recording head was taken with both hands and put down like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you needed about, let's say, when you start. So whenever they would start, there would be one tack kind of sound, and that thing would start moving, and we would hear it in the headphones. And then the person would take the heads and then put it onto the tape, and then the recording would start. So in case you made a mistake somewhere in between, they had to find at least 8 bars empty. 1, 2, 7, 8, like that, at least. So that the tape would roll, and then the person would put the head down, and then it would start recording, and then you could play. So basically you had to have that much empty bar. Okay? वो empty रहेगा उतना 8 बार, then you can punch. Otherwise they would find somewhere where there was 8 bits. So I remember one recording of Anand Milind, was a 3 अंतरे का गाना था, 3 antras, and I didn't have much work in that. I was playing one kick, close hi-hat and open hi-hat in the third music, and I was playing, and tired at the end of the day. So when my turn came, I started playing, but in between mistake हो गया. So of course it stops, सब कुछ stop हो गया. Then कहाँ से punch करना है अभी? So they are looking for कि punch कहाँ से होएगा. So third music है ये. So मुखड़ा में नहीं हो सकता, अंतरा से मुखड़ा तो connected है. Music 2 उधर भी जगह नहीं है. Music 2 में भी जगह नहीं है. Music 2 के पहले मुखड़ा, उधर भी जगह नहीं है. Then comes Music 1. So Music 1 में 8 बार का जगह खाली था. उधर से पंच करके आना पड़ा सबको. So at that time the look you get from everybody else, that look you get ना कि अरे यार, it's like they are giving you the worst bad words, but they can't say it, So it's like, so because of my mistake, it had to go all the way there, and from there it had to be punched, and then so that was how it was. And so then came quarter inch 8 track, then came 16 track, and the advantage was that in between you can punch. So what you have to do is you have to press play and record together, crack karke. And there were experts who could just, even in the millisecond, they could go plack like that, There were recorders who would do that. My friend Aslam Khan is one of them. I've seen him punch some very difficult thing, like crack karke he would punch, and then it would be like in a flow. One wouldn't realize that there is a punch. As was so many other recordists, in those days. Satish Ji was one of them. Pramod Ajivasan was one of them. So there were many of them. And of course, there was also Rajiv Kenkre and Mujib, who were mostly in jingles, but they would do that. So then came the 2 inch. 24 track, 2 inch. So 2 inch became thicker, so the sound quality became better. But again, it's audio. I mean, there is no undoing and everything. Then came ADAT. ADAT is that videotape in which you could record. But again, in these, the advantage was that it was digital. That ADAT was a digital thing. But again, undo facilities were not there. That all came with computers.
Right.
That all came when computers came into the film industry, and where you could do an undo and kind of things, and then things became little smooth for us. So I have seen all that transition from seeing a whole so that brings me to a very important point. With that with that spool recording, which was being done on that thick tape which was used for film shooting, the whole orchestra would sit, okay, of course. But so the whole orchestra would rehearse together,
Right.
to see inside how it is sounding. Even the singer would sing.
Okay.
Yeah, to see how it is sounding inside, kaise lag raha hai, kya lag raha hai. Sometimes the song violin would be there. Then once the rehearsal was done, okay, everything is fine, all music parts are okay, let's do recording. The first thing which was recorded was rhythm and harmony. That was recorded together. And then other parts. But the orchestra would sit together. From that, so that you would require a big studio. Then came 8-track and 16-track recorders. So you could then, the size of the studio became small. So the number of musicians became less. You could overdub because there were 8 tracks now. There were 16 tracks now. So you don't need to have the whole orchestra sitting together. You would do the rhythm and then get the violin guys and then do the melody guys and everything and all that. Then came the ADATs. So again, the size of the studio became less. Thoda aur chota ho gaya, because now there was 24 tracks. 3 ADATs if you put, so there is 24 tracks, you know. So thoda sa aur chota ho gaya. So number of musicians became less, sitting together. Then it was also the advent of electronics. Programming and all went to some other level because new things started coming in. The computer came into being, and the whole concept of samplers and putting it on a zip drive and everything came into play. You started getting Indian samples and string samples and everything. So that really took the work away from the acoustic musicians in a big way, for which I'm not very happy. You know, because having an acoustic musician, having a whole violin section was a very different thing. Here and there, yes, of course, they were doing it, but in a big way, a lot of their work went off, you know. And especially in backgrounds and all that, you know, bread and butter, yeah. So all that went for a toss. So again, the size of the studio started reducing. And so obviously the musicians started becoming less and less. Many musicians went out of work, started doing something else. So the plus point of this was that you could undo, you could redo, you could have so many multiple tracks. With computer, it was like there is no tracks, you can have as many tracks. But the disadvantage was that, you know, many musicians were put out of work, and that was not good. Many fantastic musicians, you know. So that was not good. All those people who went in the flow, started working on electronics and getting into that thing, were okay because they had work. But many acoustic people, you know, didn't have work, and that was not a good thing. But again, the tide changed. Even with the electronic, even with the computers, people started realizing that having a live string section or a brass section, you know, rhythm section is a good thing to have, you know. So again, the tide changed, and again we are seeing big studios like Yash Raj is there, and then so many other studios have come up which are big, which can accommodate more musicians. But again, whole orchestra is not sitting together still, which was the norm in those days. Yes, I do miss those days because there was a different vibe sitting with the whole orchestra. But yes, I do understand that work goes faster because you bring in somebody, you make them play 8 bars, and then you can just cut and paste. So the cut and paste is a good thing, again, advantage. But the disadvantage is that you don't get that vibe of that live feel. Like even when I'm doing a pattern, I would like to play the whole mukhra. And I would want it that the whole mukhra pattern be kept the way it is, because even though there is a little bit of jhol, it's still got that live vibe. But yes, many composers do feel that, we want a tight bar. So in that tight bar, I feel many times that they lose the dynamics of the groove, because a little bit up and down, a little bit looseness is good. We've enjoyed it so much with old songs and all that. So why not even now? Well, let's hope that little tight bar thing goes off.